Uh-huh.
CSG just changed their slabs,
Yeah, I saw that.
right?
How you feel about that?
Um,
It looks
I
like
know
better.
I know I've talked to a lot of people that didn't like their green slabs,
Yeah.
right? I'm always minded in a way of if the card is graded by a company, what does the market say about it?
Mm.
So this is so when I first started collecting graded cards, the
Uh-huh.
BGS slab I just liked so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I started collecting mainly cards in the BGS slab, and at that time, PSA and BGS market prices were roughly the same, very very close. And it's not like I looked at the PSA slab and didn't like it. I just like the subgrades and more detail into the card.
That's what I like about BGS because of the subgrades. That gives you an idea exactly what the card condition is, right?
Mhm.
Centering,
Yeah,
surface, corners. I don't know the other one, but it just
edges,
gives
edges.
yeah, yeah. So it gives you an idea exactly how good the card is in a sense.
Yeah, so I love that, right? I
Yeah,
love
I
that.
love it too.
But the market in 2020
What?
was a separation in price between
But,
BGS and PSA, and
but people don't.
I had to respect that. The market is talking.
Yeah, but people
So
don't know BGS has more value than PSA. They don't know. Perfect example, Kyrie 2012 Prism PSA 10 was going for 1700 at the time. And then you know what a 10 BGS 10 goes for?
what's up?
Double, almost 3800. I was like,
But you know that BGS 10 now is rare.
that's
Like
what I'm
that.
saying. That's
Yeah,
that's that's why if I wouldn't see, that's another thing. If I would have known BGS has more value long term wise, in my opinion, I think I would have went that route, collecting graded cards instead of PSA, just because of how hard they grade certain cards, or how they grade cards in general.
but you know when you compare that PSA 10 to that BGS 9.5, that PSA 10 is typically gonna win on
Yeah,
market.
most of the time, yeah, it's
So
just that
when I started realizing that, I said, you know what, I got to keep an open mind. I can't
exactly.
just go down. I'm gonna tell you, people, I was going down. I was going down one path.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to do this. What is the market telling me? And when
No,
the
I
market
agree.
starts speaking at PSA, so now, and I respect SGC as well.
No,
Uh,
I respect any
yeah,
grading company
yeah.
that comes out. It's just I have a personal preference.
Hmm.
That's just me. I don't want nobody thinking I like PSA more than I don't think SGA is valid or anything like that. I just have a personal preference for me. Everybody's different. 'Cause certain people love SGC more, or the other one, the other grading companies. But it's all preference, just like what you collect. No one's not gonna grill you if you collect Persingas or anything like that.
Yeah, if that's what you like. But going back to the original question, CSG. I was indifferent on the greens, the green
Hmm.
slab. It didn't affect me one way or another. What is the grade of the card, and what is that card selling for on the open market
Yeah.
compared to the other slabs? That's where my mind always goes. Um, this new version of the slab with a new color
Hmm.
looks good, but
Fresh.
going back to the questions, right? Asking or talking about maybe tough things. Like we're going to put in some content, a conversation that we had with a member of the CSG team at the Mint, and just asking them about what people are really saying, like and some changes they made. Like not only did they change the slab, they changed the grading scale as well.
You gotta adjust, man. They gotta
So
adjust. That's all it is.
yeah, so then if the grading scale changes, then let's say you have a bunch of cars that they've given a date that you can be charged $5 to send those cars in to get them changed out to the new slab.
Yeah. No, I agree. It they I think they finally realized, enable us to for us to compete with the big dogs, we gotta switch it up a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because if you don't switch
It
it
just
up,
sparks questions though, JD. Let's say
yeah.
you have 100 slabs, 500 slabs. That's CSG. Somebody just told you you have a $500 to $2,500 bill now to get your slabs changed out. How you feel about that? You didn't know that, 2 weeks ago. How you feel about that? But
Yeah.
those are to me the tough questions that I feel like sometimes when I'm talking to people, like I got to ask it.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that because I feel like it's only fair that we know exactly what's going, why they did it and what's the reasoning behind it.
And he respected that. No, he respected that level of question.
But I'm sure they had conversations already about that. I just don't think it hasn't been televised yet or produced for content.
The question I had, I just wondered if those who have had a history of grading with him, I didn't know how they were communicated with. How do those people
Oh,
know that this change is coming? Those people who had open orders. Let's say you got an order
oh,
coming.
yeah.
What slab is it coming in? Let's say it came in a green slab. What you doing now?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, those are the
That's
questions. And another thing, and this has nothing to do with CSG. So I don't want anybody out there to think that I think this about CSG because I don't. But let's say you have let's say you have card slabs in a company that it may not make it through 2025.
2025.
I'll tell you,
How do you,
I'm always thinking forward. So let's say you
yeah,
have card slabs. We know the major players. We just named four of them. We
yeah,
know those. I'm talking about there are other grading companies out here. I'm talking about we
yeah.
talk about basketball rankings. I'm talking about 5, 6, 7, 8. There are many more. Let's say you have a card slabbed in that,
Hmm.
and that company doesn't make it into the future. What are you doing with those cards?
Damn, that's tough because you gotta crack it and then you gotta resubmit it again. Oh my god, that sounds like a headache. That sounds like a headache.
So now, right, I'm not a snob of any grading company. And if I find a very cool card, a rare card, a low pop card, anything like that, a card that I really, really want, and it's in a BGS SGC, I'm
Hmm.
still considering the purchase of that card. But I have noticed just what you're saying. A lot of these auctions that you see closing, the card has jumped in value, they're in BGS slabs. What cards are worth sending to PSA?
I was gonna ask you, do you send cards to PSA or have you ever?
I've sent a few cards to PSA. I
And
like to
how'd
buy
you
a lot
do?
of stuff that's already graded. Um, but I'm this year we'll be sending some cards into PSA and probably BGS.
How'd you do your first time subbing?
Oh, I had a Jackie Robinson card that I knew was it was I think a 54 tops.
Oh
Came
wow.
back a PSA 1. I knew the card was rough when I picked it up, but
Have you ever seen Dynasty Mode's EJ's Kobe PSA 1 tops?
no, he told me about it when
Yeah.
we talked. He
He
told me about it.
on the show on the episode he brought it out and his I never thought there'll ever be. And he told me he said that a card, the PSA 1, he was getting offers more than the PSA 9 at the time.
He said that. Yeah, he talked
I
about
was
that.
like, that's insane.
Well, it's rare, right?
I mean,
And
he
then
said
he also talked about how you can't manipulate the card to get to that grade.
yeah, he
Like
said
they,
he didn't do anything to it. He said he just threw it in there as a thing. That was it.
I said, I would like to see that card one day. What did it look like?
I have it on my page, but it's a little rough. But I mean, it's nothing like crazy. Let me see if I can pull it up.
I'm gonna go back to this question. What cards are worth sending to PSA? I think vintage, modern. It all depends on what you as a collector what you want to send in. But I think all there are many different cards that can be sent to PSA. I've had some people ask me questions recently about um, should they send in uh, vintage cards? Like they may have some vintage cards. I think so. I mean, we see a lot of sales of vintage cards and PSA slabs that are doing well. They're holding their own. So it all depends on I think what the collector wants to see and what kind of slab they want the card in.